This is Ted Gullicksen, the Executive Director of the Tenants Union, and we are at 1090 Chestnut today. It's a condo, and there's the bay. Ted's going to explain why, and talk about, why we're here today.
Well, this is the home of Wells Fargo CEO John Stumpf in Russian Hill, Pacific Heights, San Francisco, and we're here protesting him because of the role Wells Fargo is playing in the evictions of tenants and the evictions of homeowners and the foreclosures of homeowners, particularly a couple of people in Bernal Heights who have been trying to work with Wells Fargo to get their mortgages readjusted, and it's been all to no avail, and we've had numerous protests at various banks of Wells Fargo, taking them over, occupying them, and so now we're escalating this, and we are at the home of the head of Wells Fargo CEO. He has a very, very, very nice home, and obviously he doesn't care about the homes of others, but he cares a lot about his home because it's overlooking the bay in one of the richest parts of San Francisco. Where
this is Russian Hill.
This is Russian Hill. This is homes of many one-percenters, and so we're taking it to him here to tell him that his bank needs to begin readjusting these mortgages. These were predatory loans without adequate disclosure. People did not know what was going to happen to them, and they're being needlessly kicked out onto the streets, and it's all because of the actions of John Stumpf and the other high executives of Wells Fargo. We will continue to be escalating, and I say we, it's with Occupy San Francisco Housing and Occupy Bernal, and we will be stopping all auctions of Wells Fargo homes, so even if they do foreclose on people, when they try to sell them, we will make sure they can't sell them to anyone, so we'll shut down their auctions, and we'll continue to occupy their banks, and we'll continue to occupy their homes until they let us keep our homes.
It's only fair. Ted just told me that these auctions, this can be stopped easily. Can you back it up and explain what we're going to keep on trying to do in terms of these auctions?
These auctions of homes are on the steps of City Hall, and they're with the auctioneer and a dozen or so people, investors, who are looking to buy them, and it's pretty easy to stop them and shut them down with 10, 12 or so people creating a disruption. It does sort of two things. It makes the auction impossible to continue on, but it also makes the potential investors leery of bidding on any particular home that obviously is in the midst of conflict, especially if you are able to raise any claims of possible misdeeds in the mortgage or any cloud on the title or anything like that. So, but just the disruption alone manages to shut these things down. So,
and you say these auctions happen on the steps of City Hall?
Exactly, and we're trying to work with it. We're trying to figure out how the city enables that to happen, and if we can figure that out, we will get them moved off the steps of City Hall, but we imagine they'll start moving them on their own anyway, because it's pretty easy to disrupt them on the steps of City Hall. At one auction, they actually tried to move it into the War Memorial Building, but it just so happened that Ross Mercury came out, who's the sheriff, and he said, no, you can't do that. That's city property, and you can't be doing these auctions in city property. So that one they tried to get away from us, and they ended up having to close down the auction.
Excellent. So how can people find out about these auctions?
Probably the best way is to go to occupybernal.org, or on Facebook, go to Occupy SF Housing Coalition, search for that, and you can also search on Google for Occupy SF Housing and get connected with the coalition of homeowners, renters, tenant organizations, homeowner groups who are all fighting to stop the role that banks are playing both in the evictions through foreclosures as well as the evictions via financing of Ellis Act evictions and converting apartments into condominiums, luxury condominiums.
So this is my little joke about this. Get your torches and pitchforks and come on down.
That's it.
Yeah, we need a lot of people on this. Thank you, Ted Gullicksen, who's the Executive Director of the Tenants Union, for that great information today. Thank you.
You're welcome.